As we draw near to the end of the Three Rivers Food Pantry Challenge, I thought today I would focus on freeze-dried foods. There are many great ways to store food long-term through canning, freezing, and other preservation methods like dehydrating, but today we're going to focus on our freeze dryer. We're going to be making tomato basil soup and grilled cheese croutons and just experimenting with different things. Hey everybody, welcome to Kelly's Prepping Kitchen. Before we get started, I wanted to show you this awesome thing that somebody made me. That's supposed to be me in my kitchen, and even all the stuff on the wall looks so similar to the things on my wall in the kitchen. I tried to go for a farmhouse vibe. This is a menu if you look up close. I got this off the side of the road. And I just have all these things having to do with roosters and just the whole farmhouse vibe. The girl that did this is just so precise. I absolutely love it. She's even got my dog Hazel down here in the corner of the kitchen. Anyway, I just wanted to show y'all this because I just got it. I just love it so much. Roll that freeze-dried footage. So first we're going to start with some ground beef that Corey canned, along with some black beans that he canned. And then we're going to take some hatch green chilies and add that for a little extra kick, along with a can of corn that we're going to drain. And then we're going to use some rotel that we're not going to drain. And it's got some additional hatch green chilies in it. About a medium-sized onion that we'll dice. And a bell pepper, a green bell pepper as well as some bulbs, or about, I don't know, maybe 3 cloves of garlic is what we ended up using. We debated over whether or not to use that taco seasoning because it's already dehydrated, but we went ahead and threw it in for spice anyway. And we found a half-open can of black olives, so we decided to add that as well.
So when you hit start, like we've said in the past, I think it starts to cool the trays. So it's about 15 minutes. Then it'll cool, not cool the trays, it's cool the chamber. So then we go ahead and stick everything in. You can pre-freeze this if you want. We've had pretty good luck. I think we pre-froze ice cream, which is probably a good idea, but everything else we usually just go ahead and throw in. It'll be interesting to see how this liquid does. So I'll throw this in there. You gotta make sure your valve's closed in the back, which it is, and then continue. So it's gonna freeze it for a couple hours, probably 4 or 5. And I'd say this is probably gonna take, everything usually takes about 16 to 24 hours. The candy took like 40 hours. So I think it's the investment we have this thing full already, and I think we had a little over a month, so this takes up far less space. This is probably like one shelf of canning products, if not more.
So this is I don't know how much this bucket holds, but it's full.
Bean and sausage soup.
That's the best. I've got a video on that. Green chili. Corey has not uploaded his hatch green chili soup yet.
These hold about 1 avocado, I think, and then we have red onion in smaller packs.
Yeah, the avocado, this is what we're going to use for our soup when this is done.
Grated cheese. We'll have a pork. We store a lot of our snacks just in a mason jar. Even with the oxygen absorber, and you have this plastic screw-on lids. We also have like these onions in this little mason jar because we use those every day. But that lid is actually from Parmesan cheese. Always fits on mason jars, the regular mouth, not the wide mouth. Water in here. Since it's a soup, I'm not real worried about having too much water. But we're going to throw this in, and we're going to see how this works out.
Okay, so it took a little bit less than 10 minutes. We're going to go ahead and get this into our bowls. Alrighty. Now we're just going to add our garnishes, and if we wanted to just stick with the whole freeze-dry theme, there is freeze-dried sour cream. It is possible to make, we just haven't done it yet, so we're going to keep it simple with some regular sour cream, but we will open the cheese here, this on, and give it maybe a minute or two to rehydrate. Actually, I'm going to kind of push it down into the liquid a little bit. Next, we just added some of our freeze-dried avocado and let that reconstitute, as well as adding a little dollop of daisy. Added garnish, we like to put some chicharrones on our taco soup. We do this on our chili, and it just takes it to the next level.
These are actually crackling, so they're a little bit smaller. It does add a lot of texture and a lot of good flavor to your soups and your chilies and stuff. So
release the crackling.
It all came together really well. Parts of the onion, the pepper, got a lot of good seasoning. Here's some bite with some cheese. That smoked cheese, something else. With some avocado. It was just the right amount, the right ratio. Seasoning we guessed on, came out perfect.
I can't believe I'm about to eat a freeze-dried fish stick. We did cook it first, so it is cooked. And I'm gonna we're full, we just ate dinner, but here you go. Here we go, bottoms up. I think they're good.
It's crazy.
That's weird. It's like
it's like
fish
one of
stick
those
jerky or something.
What do they call those onions that I don't know if they're dehydrated.
Yeah, they kind of, that's weird.
Put on top of a casserole.
Those French fried onions.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, they're kind of like that.
Fish flavored onion.
That's weird. I like those. That will be a good protein source, I guess, like a healthy snack alternative. I don't know. Beats candy. Oh, BB wants to try the fish stick. All right, B, do you want to try a fish stick? You want it? She's like, I don't do well under pressure. Go put it on my table that I like to stand on. There you go. That's the fish sticks, and then mango. This is like what, our third time doing.
Yeah.
B. Okay. Yeah, we hear you, B.
Mangoes, that's my top favorite fruit. Over the strawberries, the bananas.
It's my third. When it comes to mangoes, I like those better dehydrated than I do freeze-dried. My favorite fruit freeze-dried goes pineapple, then watermelon, and then mango. They're good. Now, are you ready to try some of the sausage egg scramble?
Yeah. We've never eaten it dry like that. We've always reconstituted, but we could eat it dry.
So you can probably just add some hot water to it and have it for breakfast when we're out camping.
Yep.
I'm not a fan of beets. I'm more planning on eating these to lower my blood pressure, but Corey is a fan of beets. He said they're good. So here, they break in half, kind of just like eating a chip. So those I will hopefully eat to bring my blood pressure down. We hear you, B. We hear you. Now the banana boats, this is probably what I'll do different next time. Luckily, we only made 4 of these, so we're just going to store them in a wide mouth jar. But probably what I'll do next time is cut them into thicker slices and then just put a dollop of yogurt and all the toppings on the individual slices instead of doing it like this. This is probably going to be a little bit awkward to eat, but I'll give it a try. Corey's laughing at me. It's good. It's not the most graceful thing I've ever eaten, but It's good. Like I said, next time I'm going to cut them into thicker slices and just put all the same toppings on it. I'll make it easier to store, easier to eat. I just took the few pieces of freeze-dried grapefruit out of one of these jars and just stuck my banana boats in there. They fit nicely. Today we are going to do French toast on the freeze dryer. So you are going to want to start with some stale bread. So we hit up the Walmart bargain bin, and I thought it would be kind of cool to try Hawaiian bread because it's already got a sweet taste to it. And something else that we're going to do different is, instead of using milk for the milk and egg mixture, we are going to use Cinnamon Toast Crunch milk. Can you see that? So it's probably the equivalent of pouring milk on your Cinnamon Toast Crunch and then what's left afterwards. The bread, the milk, the egg, I think it is, what did I say, Corey? It's for 4 pieces of bread, it's 1 egg and a 1/4 cup milk. So we need to do all the measurements for these 2 loaves of bread. And another twist to cook it, instead of doing it on the griddle, because we're doing so many at once, we are going to use my little pizza oven. I think we can fit more bread on there. There may already be enough cinnamon in the Cinnamon Toast Crunch milk, but I'm going to go ahead and add some additional cinnamon sugar mixture because I don't think you can have too much of that. I am also going to use a little bit of brown sugar in this mixture. Okay, so we just did a taste test on the Cinnamon Toast Crunch milk, and it does taste just like the leftover milk after you eat a bowl of the cereal. Really, really good. This is going to be good on our toast. So we're going to start out doing 3 eggs to 3/4 of a cup of this milk. If we need to add more later, we will. We just don't want to have too much, and we're not sure how much we're going to be able to fit on this pizza oven to start. We're just going to let these cool and continue to cook some more. Okay, so the French toast has had a little bit of time to cool down. Hello, babe.
Oh,
Make
sorry.
a better door than you do a window. So we are going to cut these up. We stopped at 1 loaf. We're going to see, because we have a small freeze dryer, we're going to see how much room 1 loaf takes up. If we got more room, we're going to go on to the 2nd loaf. And I completely forgot that I had some Cinnamon Toast Crunch Cinnadust, which I'm sure is basically just cinnamon sugar. But anyway, why not just go with the whole theme? We've got the milk. Now we've got the actual Cinnamon Toast Crunch Cinnadust. We're going to be good to go. I'm going to sprinkle this on the top. How many were you able to fit on here? You forgot?
I think it was 5. It wasn't really that many more. No, it's 5 on that one too, right?
Yeah, because you put them all along the
about
side.
the same amount.
Okay, about 5. One of the cool things about being a prepper is there's not too much I don't have in my pantry. So I just got to hunting and found that we have some powdered maple syrup. I don't think I want to open this just yet. I think we're going to stick with just the syrup that we've got, but this is by Frontier Co-op. Alright, maple syrup. And then I've got some seasonings by a company called Firehouse. Okay, so I got strawberry powder. Oh, that's orange juice powder. I don't know about that. I just grabbed a handful of things. This is a banana powder. So, are you feeling like experimenting with anything? I'm thinking the strawberry, like, this would be the equivalent of doing a compote.
Okay.
Or, I mean, just to experiment. I don't know. Or you want to just keep it kind of traditional and just stick with cinnamon for this round?
It's up to you. You can split a little bit in the corner. Just have to remember what side of the freezer.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm gonna pass on the orange juice and the banana, and maybe just sprinkle a little bit of the strawberry powder. Thing about that company, they also send you samples. So this little guy right here is chocolate banana. Change of plans again. Corey brought up a good point. Once you open these, you have to use them pretty quickly. So I said, why don't we just use the little sample that it came with that was like the perfect size. So that's the chocolate banana, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and then I also found that I've got one of these Twix. I don't know if they'll be too sweet, but anyway, I'm going to sprinkle some of this.
Difference between that and chocolate banana.
Well, that's true. Chocolate banana. Yeah, I'm talking about the chocolate banana being too sweet.
Oh,
and I'm like,
yeah.
but let's do the Twix.
Yeah, I'd use this one because it's open already.
Okay, so just kidding. We're not going to use the chocolate banana. We're going to use Twix. Yeah. Those are good. They're going to be so good freeze-dried.
And you can probably eat it like cereal.
Mm-hmm. So. Yeah, that's going to be good. Or you could rehydrate it with milk and kind of make like a bread pudding. We just tasted this, and I love me some Twix, but I'm not sure I'm vibing with the seasoning on French toast. What do you think? You like it?
Tastes like a Twix to me.
So you want to use it?
Yeah, sure.
Why the heck not? Okay. Can you see that this is how we work in the kitchen? We're constantly changing things, modifying things. So I thought that Corey had poured the rest of this in a glass, and I was going to pick it up and take a drink. But tell him what it is. I'm so glad that I asked you first.
It's butter pecan moonshine.
I would have totally grossed out so bad because I absolutely hate liquor. Ugh. But anyway, this is what I was looking for. This is what I'm looking forward to the most. We're done using it, so that's what I'm talking about. That would have been a tragedy. Even Shakespeare couldn't have made something up like that if I drank that. Fits like a glove. Now let's go put these on the freeze dryer.
Okay guys, we're gonna load these up. Where's that one? Okay, this one has the Twix. I'll put that in the middle toward the front. I'm hoping this will do about 24 hours or so, but we'll see. We moved our freeze dryer into what used to be the dining room to keep it in the air conditioner. Although we don't need it this weekend because it's probably going to get close to freezing.
Yeah, again. As soon as we move it, the temperatures drop 40 degrees.
Yeah, so anyway, it's going into freezing mode. Got my valve shut, and we just sit back and wait. We added some extra time because we're out running around today, so I'm going to open the drain. And when this drain is done, I can open the door. No, that didn't take too long. They're nice and warm on the bottom like they're supposed to be.
You can see where it crystallized a little bit, and that's where we drizzled some syrup. Let's look at one of these sticks. Well, surprisingly, they're kind of like the texture of a biscotti or something. So I wonder if you could dip these in your coffee or something, and that might, I don't know, that might rehydrate them. It might make them a little soggy. Ready, babe? Alright, those are super good. They're also very dry. For two reasons. Number one, it's freeze dried. Number two, it's bread.
Yep. Let go.
Have some water nearby.
Yeah.
But I think they're good. Just try to envision cinnamon toast croutons. If you can picture that. It's like the texture of croutons, but yet they're sweet. I like them. I think they're good. I don't know if I would rush to make many more of these at this moment because, yeah, we like to occasionally make snacks, but we're really trying to focus on doing more meals, like making big batches of things when we eat dinner and taking the leftovers and freeze drying those so we have some more meals that are ready to go. So this is good. It would be a fun experiment. I like this more than some of the candy that we've done. And I'll definitely eat these, but we will be back momentarily to see how they rehydrate it. But they are good. So while we wait for the French toast to rehydrate in the refrigerator, we're going to do a couple of experiments here. I have some maple syrup that I warmed up, so it's a little runny. I might should do these on 2 different plates, but I am just going to saturate the top of this in the warm syrup. Okay. Then I am going to take this warm strawberry jelly or jam that I got from La Madeleine in one of those little to-go containers. So that's warm. I'm going to pour this over. Okay. Then we are going to kind of pretend that this is like Cinnamon Toast Crunch. We're going to pour some cold milk. That's probably good. And we're just going to let these rehydrate because I was talking about making a bread pudding out of this as well. So we've waited about 5 minutes, but unfortunately we have a very busy day today, so we're not going to be able to give this as much time as it probably needs. But as you can see, we soaked some of this in milk, and some of the cinnamon bits are falling off, just like if you had a bowl of the Cinnamon Toast Crunch. That tastes very similar to the cereal, in my opinion. It kind of maintains that crunch because you don't want it to get all soggy. So this is a win for me. I like this. Okay, now we got the hot maple syrup on one and the strawberry compote on another. You want to just pick it up? How do you want to do this?
I'm going to try it with a fork.
You're going to do it with your fork?
See if it'll work.
See, it's still going to be crunchy because, again, we only gave it 5 minutes. But I think it's going to take some of that dryness away that we're trying to get away from because it was just so dry earlier. Is it better than eating it?
A little better, yeah.
Let me see.
One more time.
Definitely better than eating it just as is. And it needs more time too. It's good, but it's got the toasty, crunchy. It's like a piece of toast. Just
yeah.
No, you know how
a little bit harder than a piece of toast.
Yeah, because French toast is kind of soft, but when you make toast in the toaster, it's kind of crunchy. That's what this tastes like to me. Today we are going to make grilled cheese sandwiches and some homemade, semi-homemade tomato soup in the Instapot, and we're going to actually freeze-dry this. While Corey is setting up the Instapot, I'm going to go ahead and tell you about the ingredients. For starters, I'm going to use a big can of 28 ounces of crushed tomatoes with basil. I actually got these at the Dollar Tree. I think we ended up getting like 3 cases because they go for about $6 to $7 at the grocery store. They're organic. One of the things you're going to remember about tomatoes is, although I'm sure they're good for a while after their best by date, tomatoes have high acid in them, just like pineapples, and you're not going to just want to let these go years and years past their best by date. So we got the crushed tomatoes, and then we have a couple of diced, petite diced tomatoes that we need to use. We're going to use a little bit of minced garlic. We're going to use this big container of broth that we made. Is this the turkey broth from the smoked turkey?
Yeah, that one may be smoked
It's
turkey,
pretty dark. I'm pretty
dark.
sure this is it. So you're going to want to use some kind of chicken stock or whatever you have on hand, better than bouillon. And then we have some heavy whipping cream that we're going to add. So let's go get started on this. We ended up using about 1.5 tablespoons of fresh basil. You can use dry basil as well. Corey's going to go ahead and add the broth. The recipe calls for 2 cups. I think that one's a little bit more than 2 cups. I forgot to mention we're also going to add some butter. I think this part is optional. Just kind of gives it a little rich flavor. Here goes the can of crushed tomatoes, by the way. Now we're going in with the 2 cans of diced tomato. Now we're gonna go in with the basil. We're not gonna measure the garlic, we're just gonna go in probably with about a tablespoon. We're gonna add about a tablespoon of sugar just to kind of offset all that acid.
We're gonna put on pressure cook, and we're gonna go up to 20 minutes and let it go.
I'm sure everybody knows how to make a grilled cheese sandwich, but instead of doing it on the stovetop the traditional way using butter, we are just gonna make about 3 grilled cheese sandwiches in the oven. We've got the oven set to, what was it, 350? 350. We're gonna let it go about 20 minutes, about the length of time that we're letting the soup go. Then basically what we're doing is making like grilled cheese croutons, because we're gonna put them in the freeze dryer and then be able to add these to our soup.
Steamed for about 17 minutes or so.
Now we added about 4 tablespoons of butter. About a cup of heavy cream, is that right, babe? This is some of the best soup I've ever had. I love the chunks of tomato that are in there. There's like several different textures going on because we have the crushed tomatoes and the diced tomatoes. And make sure that it's good.
I love tomato soup. I grew up as a kid. Tomato and bean and bacon were my favorite. This blows that away. This blows Campbell's out of the park.
No offense, Campbell's. Grilled cheese sandwiches are going into the oven. We'll check on them in about 15 minutes. Now it's time to blow off a little steam. Dang!
Our tomato soup and our little croutons are done. They're real crispy, you know, styrofoamy like they're supposed to be.
How many servings do you think we can get out of this?
I think we'll go half and half. I get 2 servings each. 1 serving each. 1, 2, 3. So 4 different meals out of this, I think.
Hazel, this just isn't your day, is it? You got roofers that are making all kinds of noise. Now they're coming through the ceiling. We got roofers. And we got roofers. Hazel said that was a bad joke, Mama. He's not a big crouton fan, so I'm gonna have the 1 crouton. That's so good. It tastes just like dunking a grilled cheese sandwich into tomato soup. It's your turn, babe.
Yeah, it tastes like the day we made it. Nice and smoky.
I know we're hyping this tomato soup up a lot, and again, it could be because of the broth that we're using from our smoked turkey that we had on Thanksgiving. I'm sure it tastes just as good using regular chicken stock or whatever, but hope you found this video helpful in some way, and you got anything to say?
Don't hesitate to get a freeze dryer. We did for a little bit, but it's well worth it.
It is. You get your money back. Just like that.
You can make some great meals and then the awesome snacks where they're fruit and vegetables and just good way to get nutrition.
I hope you enjoyed our compilation of freeze-dried experiments that we tried this year, and I hope that it helps you in some way. Thanks to all of you for watching my video. See you next time. Bye, everyone.